Coming up on Colorado Ins, the newest marijuana law in Colorado. We'll take a look at the pros and cons. And later, the microwave popcorn settlement that shocked the country. Stay tuned. Welcome to Colorado Ins on this Thursday night, September 20th. I'm Sophie Vukovic. On this episode of Coins, we'll be discussing health issues and topics relating to Colorado. So for our first topic of the evening, tonight we're joined by CTV reporters Alethea Brown and Katie Spencer to discuss Denver's newest law on medical marijuana dispensaries. This law says that all dispensaries within 1,000 feet of a school must be shut down. We're here to discuss the pros and cons associated with this law. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So first of all, obviously this is kind of a debated topic, so we wanted to have you guys in here. This law says that the dispensaries have been shut down. Do you guys think this is effective?
You know, I think it is it isn't effective because people who smoke marijuana, even if it's medical marijuana, they're gonna go any place to get this. Even if they have to go a little bit further, they're still gonna go. I think it's all about having it, even like no matter the distance.
Alethea?
You know, I have to disagree actually. I think that it's going to be really effective. I think it has to do with access. And with those, especially in the school zone with the high school students not being able to access the marijuana as easily, it's going to make a huge impact on them utilizing it.
And I know that law enforcement is saying that this is the most aggressive crackdown that we've had on medical marijuana or marijuana in general. But I think if, you know, this is really as rough of a crackdown as they're saying that is, that they should be trying to outlaw it in general rather than, you know, just outlawing it 1,000 feet. I don't know how much that's going to do. Right,
interesting. Can you guys give us some of the pros and cons about medical marijuana?
Yeah, I know medical marijuana. I've done a little research on this, and that medical marijuana patients use it for glaucoma. A lot of cancer patients use it if they are feeling nauseated or if it helps them to dull the pain a little bit. So I know that helps them out. It also helps people who have just a weak appetite in general. It helps them grow their appetite.
Alethea?
Yeah, and you know, I think those are some good pros for it, but there's also some obvious cons too. I think that obviously the abuse of the medical marijuana in general is a huge issue, and I think that it's also a gateway drug too. So by high school students using it, it can lead to other drug abuses as well.
Okay. All right, and you mentioned obviously the pros of it being the medical aspect, and you mentioned that a con of it is that it is dangerous. It's a gateway drug. Do you think it's appropriate that these two are interchangeable, that something that's dangerous and a gateway drug is also being called medicine?
You know, I think it really depends on the person who's using it. If they're actually using it for legitimate medical purposes, or if, like Alethea said, if they're abusing it and they're just using it for a high. So I think it depends.
Depends. Alethea?
Yeah, no, I agree with Katie, definitely. It does depend. I think that there's never going to be a great middle ground for this topic. I think that there's always going to be those people who abuse it. There's also those people who really do need it at the same time. But you really can't control the vast majority of those who don't need it, but they use it still.
Okay, yeah. It's obviously been a debated topic for a while in our state and in our country. And in November, we're going to have an opportunity to vote for or against legalizing marijuana. Do you think that, what do you think will happen with that, and how will that affect these dispensaries that are being shut down?
I know Amendment 64 is going to be on, people are going to be voting on it in November, and Amendment 64 is, if it passes, it's going to legalize marijuana all over Colorado, and that's not just medical marijuana, that's marijuana in general. So I know that polls have been taken, and in those polls, some people have favored it, you know, some people have gone against it. There's been a majority that have actually favored it, but you really never know until people actually get out and vote.
Right. Alethea?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that an issue, though, would be that people abuse it already now. So with that being legalized, it's just going to grow, and it's just going to turn into more of an issue, right? I think.
Also, the economy will be affected by this, I think, if we gain or lose these dispensaries, as they already have been. And for instance, in Denver and other places in Colorado where they've been shut down. I believe they only had 45 days to pack up and leave. How do you all think this will benefit or hurt our economy?
You know, I think it could definitely benefit our economy because it's not only jobs of people working at these dispensaries, but it's a possible taxation. I know it could be taxed like cigarettes are taxed right now, and that could definitely put some extra cash into our economy because, you know, growing it and getting the seeds doesn't cost that much money. But if you tax it, if you sell it at a markup, then that could definitely benefit our economy.
Right. Alethea?
Yeah, you know, I'll have to agree with that too. I think that, excuse me, with so many people using it now, by legalizing it and by opening this up into the economy, I think it's going to be a huge, huge help to our economy.
Right.
And just like you said, you know, the Denver businesses only had 45 days to shut down. I know there was a similar situation in Fort Collins when the medical marijuana dispensaries had to shut down. But, you know, this gives them the opportunity to open back up, and that could, again, stimulate our economy.
Right. Do you think that Fort Collins voters here, being a lot of students, do you think that that will sway the way they vote because there are so many younger students?
You know, I think it could go either way. Once again, I know a lot of students who are pro it. I know a lot of students who are against it. But I think there's also the issue of if students are actually going to get out and go and vote, because that's been a high point in the past that students are apathetic. We don't really care what's going on. So I don't know. Once again, it could go either way.
Mm-hmm. Alethea, do you think that the problem is if students will actually get out and vote, or do you think that they'll vote, and how so?
Yeah, you know, I agree with Katie. I think that for a long time now it's been an issue getting students out to vote, and maybe by putting more amendments like this on the ballot, that'll up the voting with the younger generation as a whole.
Absolutely. Well, thank you ladies for coming in. I don't think we have a whole lot of time left, but I appreciate you coming in to talk with us about it.
Thanks for having us.
Everybody will have a chance to vote on what they think about these medical marijuana dispensary issues. Coming up after the break, as those winter woes set in, so does the exercise slump. We'll tell you how you can stay active at work and through the chilly season. Stay tuned.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Whether or not marijuana has negative effects, obesity certainly does. While Colorado is the thinnest state with only 20% obesity rates, there is fear that this number will grow up to 45% by the year 2030. Even though 2030 is a long way away, obesity doesn't happen overnight. The problem has already started. It's important that we start fighting for health now. And as those temperatures begin to drop outside, sometimes so does our motivation to stay active. As this graph shows, Fort Collins is one of the cities with the lowest obesity rates. To help keep that low rate, we asked the CSU Rec Center to give us some easy ways to stay active with a busy schedule. Take the stairs. It's a simple step, if you will, that can easily help you burn some extra calories on the go. Stretch while at your desk. It can get your blood flowing and give you some flexibility. Get a workout in on your lunch break. This can give you a boost to get through the afternoon. Bike or walk to work or school. This is one way to start and end your day in an active way. And lastly, eat often and in small portions if possible. Coming up after the break, I'll be joined by Melanie Rose, who will give us some insight on a $7 million settlement regarding, of all things, microwave popcorn. Don't go away.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
Packers.
Vikings.
Red State. Blue State.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
But when we live united, we create real lasting change in the education, income, and health of our country.
United.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Sign up at liveunited.org.
If you're looking for a new pet that your family will cherish every day, consider adopting from a shelter. Shelters are the best places to find a new pet. That's where you'll discover healthy, loyal, and loving animals, eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet, so bring home your new buddy today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome back to CTV. I'm now joined by Melanie Rose to discuss a story that shocked the entire country. Thanks for joining us, Melanie.
Yeah, of course. It's good to be back on the desk.
Absolutely. So this guy, he got $7 million because he said that he got popcorn lung from eating this popcorn.
Yeah. It's a little ridiculous.
What do you know about it? What can you say? I mean, it sounds intense.
Well, the guy's name is Wayne Watson, and he is suing the popcorn company $7 million because he ate 2 bags of popcorn a day. I personally think that's his own fault.
2 bags of popcorn every single day?
Every single day for years. I don't even know how many years. I don't think he wants to admit it.
I wouldn't.
And so basically what he's saying is that every time, you know how when you get the popcorn out of the microwave, you
Right.
open it up and all the steam comes in your face?
And it burns your face. Whenever I try that, it burns my face.
Well, he's blaming his lung disease on that.
When he opens it, he just like inhales all of these. He likes to smell it?
And I just think it's a little ridiculous. Wayne, what you doing?
I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know, but well, his lawyers are saying that it's actually chemicals that he used in his carpet cleaning business. They're saying that's really to blame for his cancer because he's been doing the carpet cleaning business for years, and you know those chemicals are much more powerful than some butter. You know.
Yeah, I believe it said that the chemicals were in the butter of the popcorn.
Yeah. So my question is, how do they know it was the popcorn? You know?
Yeah, that's kind of hard to say.
Millions of consumers eat popcorn daily. How, you know?
Well, not as often as this guy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of consumption of the popcorn.
A lot of it. Well, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, it looks like the courts awarded him. They said that he's getting the $7 million, so they agreed with him in this case.
Yeah, they did. And, you know, the jury even said they're kind of disappointed with the decision. They don't really think it's fair to the popcorn company, and I completely agree. I don't think it's fair at all. So, but, you know, with the question, it's like, how often does this happen? But this actually has happened before to a woman who lived in Queens, but apparently she didn't win, and he did.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, and I actually think, you know, he said the main reason why he, you know, created this whole thing is because they don't have the warning on the bag. And, you know, so he's like, oh, it's the popcorn company's fault. But I think it's his fault.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So don't eat 2 bags of this popcorn a day. Now, did the popcorn company respond, or was there any kind of response?
There's no response, none that I could find. So.
Okay, interesting. So they just gave this guy $7 million.
$7 million. I guess we should all eat 2 bags of popcorn a day and see what happens.
It could be good or it could be bad. I guess it kind of
probably
depends.
be really bad.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Melody.
Thank you.
Interesting topics about the popcorn man. Anyways, thank you for joining us this evening. This is Colorado Ins. You can check out the blog on our website. You can check out the blog on our website, collegian.com. Have a great evening.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool. Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people, and you're better than that.